Maria from Crochet A to Z, and welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please push that subscribe button, and if you have, thank you. I want to thank you for being here today. Hopefully you're having a great day. So today what I want to go over is we did a series of blocks, 30 to be exact, and now we want to put these blocks together. And I'm going to show you the easiest way to do that. But I also want to talk about blocking. So we want our blocks to be anywhere from 9 inches or 9.5 inches or 9-inch blocks. And we want them to be that way both ways. So, and when I say both ways, I mean from side to side and up and down. So in order to do that, what we're going to do, and I'll show you. Now, some of the blocks I want to mention will be fine. They'll be either 9, 9.5. They might be a little more, but that's fine. The ones that are a little shorter, we're going to just do our blocking. So I've got our little tool here for that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use these pins to secure this block to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to secure the top, and we'll start right in the corner, and we'll put a pin right there. And then what we're going to do is we want to measure our block. So we're seeing that we're short. So what we're going to do is we're going to, and I'm going to undo that again because I want it to be enough room on both sides. And we're going to, and it's almost there. And we want to say 9 to 9.5 inches. And here is our mark right here. But we want to make sure that this is uniform all the way down. And we see that we're doing it fine all the way down. We just want to make sure our corner is correct too. And we're going to use our pins. Now we want to make sure that we pin the other side as well, so everything stays stable and in place. And we want to make sure that this is not uneven. So we do want to make sure we pin these sides. We make sure that we anchor it to this board. And you might have to do some adjusting in between this, but that's okay. Now we want to make sure that it's right this way. So what we're going to do is, again, we're going to measure, but we want to measure from the top to the bottom. And we do have to have some pulling here. But see how easy it is? And we're seeing that that is in play. So we gave it 9. So anywhere from 9 to 9.5 inches is fine. And you want to make sure that you pin this right across, because you don't want and then on top here as well. So we're going to check it again, because you do have to keep checking it, because a slight move can change it in variation a little bit. And we're doing okay. We're right there. We're in good stead. So we're going to just pin the top of this as well. And you want to pin the corner. And then we'll give it one more. And I'm going to check this as well, because I want to make sure. I'm going to pull that out. So don't feel funny, and don't think you can't play with this to pull it and readjust it. You can. And then I'm going to put another one here because I don't want that to bow in. And now I'm going to measure it one more time. And there's my 9. There's my, this can go out a little bit. And there's my 9. So I'm going to move this one down here. And then I'm going to go up a little bit. And there's my 9. And I'm going to actually go to this corner here just to make sure I'm at 9, which I am up here, but not quite up here. So I want to pull that out, and I want to just readjust it, and there it is at 9. And then once you do that, I want to make sure that I'm doing good going the opposite way, and I am. This is good. And I'm doing well. And I'm going right across, and I'm seeing that I'm at 9. Then once you do that, and you have it all blocked in, now like I said, 9 to 9.5 inches, and you're good. Once you do that, you're going to get a spray bottle, and you're going to spray this down. You don't have to make it so that it's very, very soaked, but just enough, because I just changed the spray on that, just enough to wet it down. And you let that dry. Now, you may not need to do that with all of these, but you may have to do it with some of them. And that's the part we do of the blocking. This is part 1. So now we're going to do part 2 once all of your blocks are blocked. And like I said, you want to make sure that your spray is a light spray. I did some little wet spray there, but make sure that your spray is a light spray. You can adjust it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do part 2, and that is assembly. So let's get to part 2. Now we're going to put our blocks together. You can put these blocks together any way you want. If you made different color ones, you can put them together. You can figure out which design you want with next to the other. You can put them any way you want, because this is at your own pace and it's your own design. So you've got 30 blocks and you want to put it together, do your own design. What I did with my blocks is I made the 25 single crochets and 3 in each corner, like I said. And then what I chose to do is I chose to do another couple of rows of a different color, and then with the same amount of stitches. And I chose to end all my blocks with a dark color. And this is called steel. It's a steel gray. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to have an outline. And that is, in fact, what I did with this. And what I wanted to use is also use the steel to sew this together. So that was my objective in making this. You may want to not do this. You don't have to do it. I'm just saying how I finished them. I made all the blocks with a different color ending. If you look at this one, it has the color of the 25 and the 3 in each corner of single crochets. And then I did a lighter gray, and then with 2 rows of lighter gray, and then I did 2 rows of the darker gray. That's what I wanted, how do I wanted to make mine. So therefore, that's why I said I'm going to be using the dark gray to sew these together. So I'm going to get some dark gray yarn. And I want to mention, you don't have to, but I like to use these needles. They have a little bend in them, and I like that idea. But you don't have to. And what you're going to do is you're going to thread your needle, and you're going to put a little knot at the end. And you can work, when you start sewing these, you can kind of work that in to your work. And what I do is, if there's a little bit of, I cut it so that it doesn't appear that you can really see it in this. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my 2 ends, and I'm going to bring them together. And in this very corner, I'm going to go and I'm going to look for my V's. So see, there's a V here and a V here. And same here, there's a V here and a V here. I'm going to go not in the front V, but in the back V. And I'm going to go not in the front V, but the back V of the other square. And I'm going to bring my needle through. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in the next one, and I'm going to go through the back V and the back V. And I'm going to do this straight across. And I will be working, I'm going to make this a little longer because I'm going to take that and work it. I like to work it so that it doesn't ever come out. So now I went through that one, and I'm going to go through this. And I'm going to keep doing this back and forth, and you're going to pull. And we're going to just keep back and forth, and see the back end one, the back one, the back portion of the V from each one of these. Again, there's your V stitch. I'm going to the back one. There's the other V stitch. I'm going to the back one. And I'm going to do this right across. And like I said, I'm leaving this long because what I'm going to do is it's going to be a knot, but I'm going to work it in so that it doesn't come out. And you're just going to do this right across until you get to the end. And you will be lining them up. And you can pull this and you can see that it's and if I put my finger underneath there, see? it's closed together. So I want you to be able to see that. And here's back loop, back loop, back loop. And you're going to do this right across. And you're going to notice that it lines right up. And you can pull that a little bit so that it makes it easier for you to go across. And we're just going to continue to do this right across. It's going to be 5 blocks per set. So you're going to have 5 blocks across, and then you're going to add 5 more blocks and 5 more blocks and 5 more blocks until you have used all 30 blocks. So you will put together a row of 5 blocks. Then once you get the row of 5 blocks, you put another row of 5 blocks together, and then you will add that to the 5 that you put together, and then you will get 5 more and put those together, and then just keep adding until you use all the blocks. 30 blocks, 5 blocks per row. And here we go at the end. And then what I do is I go in here into one of the stitches that I just made. And I go in there and it knots it. And then what I'll do is I follow it, the needle under, and under. And then I'll find another spot where I can make another knot. And I do this to secure it. And then I'll go in again. And I'll put this way so you can see it. So I'll keep, so I'll go in one more time. and then I'll cut that, and then what'll happen is I will weave that in. Cut it long enough to weave in. Now I have a suggestion. This is the side that you're sewing on. It'll be easier for when you put them together. Put a marker on your work. This way here, you know, when you do your another add-on, your next block, you know that you're going to fold that in half, and I'll show you what I mean. And you know you're going to put this block with this block, and you know that you're going to sew on this line on the same side that you sewed that one on, because you don't want to mix the sides. You want to sew, when you sew them together, you want to continue to sew them the same way. Now this is what it looks like when you sew them together. That's the wrong side, and this is the right side. And see what I mean when I say you can't even tell, but it's a good idea to mark the spot. This way here, you know, you're going to keep adding them on, 5 of them all across, and you're going to know that this is the side that you're sewing on. So now what I did was, I want to make sure also that I work this in as well. Now this is the end that I left a little where we put in the needle, and we made a little knot at the end. Now I'm going to grab this and I'm going to get my crochet hook. And I do this, you don't have to do this, but I like doing this because I like to secure the end so it doesn't come apart. I go in and I just pull that through. That's why I kept it a little longer. And I make a little knot there. And I'm still working on the side where I sewed. And then I go in again. And what I do is I secure this. And that's why I made it a little longer. You don't have to do this. But I find that it does help in keeping stitches from coming out or this coming apart at the end of the day. And I did it again. And I knotted it again. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my needle in. I'm just going to thread this. And you can make that a little longer too than what I made. And I put this through. And then I cut that little end. I got a little piece right here I can cut as well, because that was also. And now I know that that end is secure. And you can't really feel the knot that I made. So now you'll go to the next one, and if you want, you can work in your you can work in these ends now if you want. But see how you've sewn that, and you can't pull it apart. There it is. And again, you put a little thing here so you know you're going to add your next block, because you have to have 5 across. And when you get your next block, you're going to know that, say you put it under here, get your edges together, you're going to start sewing this way, because that's the side that you're sewing on, so call it the wrong side. So when you open this up, it'll be on the wrong side. And that's how we sew them together. Now, let me take you to the next part of this. After you put all of them together, 5 in each row, and you have 30 in all. So now let's get to the next step. Let's finish this blanket. The good thing is that you're going to work in the first corner. to finish this off. And the good thing that I'm saying, the good thing is you're going to work on the right-hand side. And you will know the right-hand side because the side that you put your little markers on is the side that you sewed. So you know this is the side that you were sewing. So you're not going to use that side. You're going to use the right side of the blanket. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put in the first corner, we're going to put a yarn, and I want to mention that I am going to do white. So I'm going to start my border with white, then I'm going to go to a lighter gray, and then I'm going to finish with my steel gray, which is this color. So I'm going to do in this spot, I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3 single crochets. 3 single crochets in each one of the corners. 4 corners, 3 single crochets in each one. And then a single crochet in each stitch around until you get to the next corner, and then you're going to make 3 single crochets. Then you're going to do all your single crochets, get to the next corner, 3 single crochets in that corner, then do all your single crochets, and in the last corner you're going to do 3 single crochets. And you'll do this all the way around. Now what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to do a white. The next row will be single crochets in a lighter gray. And the final row will be the steel gray. And I will be doing that in half double crochets. So I will be ending this with half double crochets for my last row border. So one border is single crochets. The second color border, or if it's the same color you're going to use, it's single crochets. And your last border color is going to be half double crochets. And then you're done with the blanket. All you have to do is weave in any extra ends that you have. And then you'll be looking for your little markers that you put in, and you can take them all out. But that's why it's nice to have the markers in, because once you have those in, you know that's the side that you used and you sewed with. And you know that this is going to be your right side, and you're going to crochet all the way around. So this is the final of our block series. And it was how to block, how to sew your blocks together, and how to finish your Afghan off. This is Maria from Crochet A to Z. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and this series. Thank you. Have a great day. If you have any questions, feel free to put them down in the comment section, and I will be happy to answer them. Thank you. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Love you all. Bye-bye.